All right. Whoever you are, we welcome you. Whoever you come from, we welcome you. Whomever you love, we welcome you. Whoever you are, we welcome you. Wherever you come from, we welcome you. Whomever you love, we welcome you. Good morning again. Thank you to Tina and Steve for providing technical assistance today. Thank you to our greeter, Bob Rex. And I hope you enjoy the music put together today by Sophia. Please be aware that we are recording this service and it will be posted on our YouTube page. For privacy, we do not record or post joys and concerns. Here at the Maumee Valley Unitarian Universalist congregation, our goal is to provide a welcoming space for people to come together to experience religious freedom, find community, grow spiritually, and explore ways to make a difference in the lives of others. We draw on a wide variety of resources to provide thought-provoking and inspirational Sunday services. We encourage you to attend several services to gain a good understanding of who we are. For further news, please remember to read our weekly email, which provides comprehensive information about everything going on at MVUUC. Visitors, if you'd like to start receiving our weekly email, make sure to fill out one of the blue cards found in the back seat pockets and put the card in the box on the greeter's table. Please take a minute to greet your neighbors. With my dog. I have my dog with me. The chalice will be lit today by Mac Power. Please join me in reading the words provided for you as we light the chalice. Fire and water, ancient opposites, sun and ocean, the cradle of life, dancing flame and dancing river, we invoke them together today as we kindle our chalice flame. We have spare. Normally, we have our joys and concerns at this point of the service, but we are going to do something a little differently today. As you probably read in the newsletter or saw on the OOS, this is our annual homecoming and water ceremony service. We titled it Gathering of the Waters because it is both about the congregation gathering together to begin the new season of services, as well as using water as a symbol of our commitment to one another and to our spiritual home. We'll begin with a meditation centered on the idea of water. Get comfortable in your chair and close your eyes. Breathe in for a count of 3. Hold for 2, then exhale for 3. Do this 3 times as you immerse yourself in the idea of water. The strength of water takes on many, many forms, just as each of you has a unique and necessary strength that you bring to our community and to the work of love. Take a moment now to drop down into the deep wellspring of your own spirit and bathe yourself in the strength that is the groundwater of your person. Are you a roaring fall, wearing rock away with sheer force of will? Are you a tiny drop of water in a crevice, breaking it open slowly, steadily? Are you buoyant like a great salt lake, practiced at holding others aloft? Are you tenacious like the mountain stream, finding your way down and around every obstacle you face? Are you still and calm like the pond at daybreak, offering radiant peace by your shores? Are you in touch with hidden depths, pulling from a vast well? Do you soothe like the steam rising from a cup of tea? Do you dissolve away stubborn muck like water left in a pot to soak? Do you soften and smooth the edges like a creeping fog? Do you clear away distraction like a cleansing rain? Do you roll with the ebb and flow like the ocean waves? Settle your mind upon the strength, the power that is yours. Draw that strength into your heart. Draw it up into your soul. As we gather together, the many waters of this community, we need each of your power, each of your resilience, each of your love to make us whole. As you come back to the present with all of us, think about which image of water represents you today. How are you connecting to the idea of the element of water? So each year, as we gather in the fall, it is our custom to offer a water as a symbol of our connection, one to the other. This morning, we will have 4 periods of sharing water, whatever we have brought. We want to share with one another not only where our water comes from, but share what it means to us, what it symbolizes in our own lives. First, we will have a chance to share water that reminds us that while some have abundance, others struggle in scarcity. Second, we will share water that symbolizes travel, movement, and change. Third, we will share water that reminds us of life's storms, our concerns, worries, frustrations, and losses. And finally, we share water that reminds us of the well springs of our lives. Please don't worry about which time for sharing is the right time. The great thing about symbols is that they are always open to many interpretations. This container, empty of water, reminds us of all who lack access to safe and affordable water. I will dedicate the first water to begin our water communion with a symbol of our solidarity with UUs and all those around the world who are calling for the human right to water. I will also pour out water for all those farmers who lost crops and livestock this summer because of the drought, some of the worst they have ever had in many areas around the world, including the US. If you would like to share water representing an awareness of scarcity in our community or our lives, please come forward using the side aisles. Bring your water and pour a little of your water into the common bowl. If you'd like to say a word or two about the significance of this water into the microphone, feel free. If you did not bring any water with you today, we invite you to pour some from the common glass pitcher into the bowl. You are always welcome to share silently. You do not need to speak in order to share. Anyone? Yeah. Into our joys and concerns bowl, the top one. Fill that one first.
for all those who do not have water, for all those who need water, for all the plants and all the people, all the animals, all of nature.
The waters that carry us. Now I invite you to share water that reminds you of the changes and transformations in your lives, your journeys, whether spiritual or physical.
Nancy's sister passed away on Tuesday night. I do this in memory that water exists in different forms. Sometimes it's here, sometimes it doesn't appear to be here, and then it comes back.
This is in honor of, we moved here a year ago, and the opportunity this summer to go to a cottage in the Irish Hills that my grandfather built the year I was born, and go back there a couple times. Some other fun, this enjoying all the metro parks this summer, particularly walking along the Maumee River with our dog many times. And then having a wonderful new trip on Lake Erie just last week. So it's been a wonderful water summer of transformation.
I offer water in the form of tears this year. Lots of tears.
I'll offer some water in thinking about transformations. As some of you know, my son has had a bit of a speech impediment, and he's been doing speech therapy, and just some amazing advances in the last couple of weeks with a new speech therapist, and just amazing to see.
Probably could have said something at the beginning there, but we just don't appreciate water so much. From our farm down in southern Ohio, it was an extreme drought last year, and people had to transport water to feed their cattle and so forth. So we are almost in a drought up here right now, so we really don't appreciate water until we don't have it.
I'm just, excuse me, putting in a little, sorry. putting in the water for, we did a bike ride in the Netherlands, and we're never away from water because the area we're in, you're by the ocean, you're by a canal, you're by a lake. It is just everywhere. And putting this in for the power that we exert over our resources, it's amazing the gyrations that they go through in the Netherlands to reclaim the land and then to move the water where it needs to be for their livelihood and survival. So just to remember that we have a lot to do with the scarcity and plenty of water, I guess, on the earth, and to be good stewards of that.
The water of storms. Now it is time to share water symbolizing the storms in our lives, the concerns and sorrows, confusion and frustrations. Allow this vessel to be one of receiving and healing as it absorbs your storm. Again, you're welcome to say a word or two about the significance of this water, or pour in water without saying anything at all. Water of storm and sorrow.
So Rick and I took a sentimental journey yesterday up to Ann Arbor. This is water from Zingerman's Roadhouse. Ann Arbor is a mixed bag for us both. We both got our hearts broken in Ann Arbor, and then we met each other and found joy. Lots of stuff happened to us in Ann Arbor that was both good and bad. It was like a tale of two cities, the best of times, the worst of times. Ann Arbor is that city for me, so.
This is for, obviously, I'm being a college student and us moving in recently. We're struggling, but we're getting there. And so I'm grateful that we're able to do that.
I think this is for all of humanity and all the hate and the division that we see around the world and in this country, and the lack of love and empathy towards others.
Some of you know that I've been through a lot of storms for the last couple months, so pouring out a little for that.
For our twins, born and lost approximately 15 years ago, last week.
I moved here a few years ago because I lost my husband, and I lived on the South Carolina coast on the ocean. It was hard to leave my friends and the ocean, but I've discovered a new community here and the lakes, and so this is for my old life, but also my new life on the water.
Life is hard, and I think we always have to remember that weathering a storm is one of the strongest things a person can do. And hopefully at the end of that is transformation in some way. So my water is for the storm in which we all go through.
The waters that sustain us. As we conclude our water communion, I invite you to bring the water that reminds you of the well springs of your life, the water that sustains you when you are feeling empty, the joys that give you hope and buoy you up, water of hope and sustenance.
So last Christmas, my 8-year-old asked for a fish tank for Christmas, so we ended up getting her some fish in a fish tank. I'd never had one before, so it was a little bit of a process learning that. I would like to say I'm proud we have not lost a fish in about 2 months, so I think we've gotten the hang of it. So it's been a really fun hobby to learn with her. And then to add to that, apparently fish tank water is really good for plants because of the nitrates. So I have gotten into keeping house plants because of plants I've gotten from my grandmother's funeral a couple years ago. I got 4 plants from that. And then my aunt who passed away earlier this year, she had a bunch of house plants that I took all those. So I'm using all that fish water tank to keep those plants growing, and that I think of them every time I'm taking care of those plants. So that's kind of how water is sustaining me this year.
I was looking through the different waters of, and I was thinking what one was more appropriate for this one. And I think this one is perfect because he is something that is a lifeline and has always been a lifeline to me. And obviously I still struggle with the fact that he went through with it, but this is for my uncle who had taken his life.
When I was getting ready for this morning, I remembered, oh yeah, it's the water communion. And I'm not sure where it would be appropriate to share it, so I'm just going to throw it here at the end. I thought about how the fact that what brings us all into humanity is what we always refer to as that breaking of water. That every one of us came from that amniotic sac, and that's what brought us into our human existence. And throughout life, the thing that sustains us is water. It's the thing that's most important in our existence in terms of our physical existence. And then at the end of our time, when we've left this plane and this earth, it's once all the water has drained from our body that we become dust and go back to the earth. And so just remembering that it's water that brings us all into the humanity together. Together we have filled our bowl with the waters that we gathered. Let us consider what the words and actions of this time have meant for us as a community of UUs. Consider what strengths we gather together, what resources we bring, what comfort and wisdom we offer to one another and to the rest of the communities to which we belong. Join me now in a moment of silent reflection. When you hear the tone of the bowl being struck, I will strike it again to signal our return to the service. Now let there be an offering to sustain and strengthen this church, which is important to so many of us. We gratefully dedicate this offering to the good of the church, the wider community, and the world. If you make an automatic pledge payment, please place one of the yellow cards indicating the support in the basket. If you want today's contribution to count toward your annual pledge, please put it in an envelope with your name on the front so that we know who to credit it to. Now is the time for sharing joys and concerns. Tina, please stop recording the service at this time. Our closing words come from a poem written by Star Hawk. It's titled, "Community Means Strength." We are all longing to go home to some place we have never seen, a place half remembered and half envisioned. We can only catch glimpses from time to time. Community. Somewhere there are people to whom we can speak with passion without having the words catch in our throats. Somewhere a circle of hands will open to receive us. Eyes will light up as we enter. Voices will celebrate with us whenever we come into our own power. Community means strength that joins our strength to do the work that needs to be done. Arms to hold us when we falter. A circle of healing, a circle of friends. Someplace where we can be free. Join me in reading the words provided as we extinguish the chalice. Today, water is our element, the flame is extinguished, and our spirit quenched. Before our closing song, we have time for a few brief announcements. Anyone with an announcement, please come to the podium if you have to make one.
I just wanted to say that our brunch bunch is reconvening this coming Friday at Scramblers on Route 25 across from Levis Commons. And we meet at noon, right at 12 o'clock, so that's easy to remember. And it's this coming Friday.
Good morning. So this Tuesday, up at Handmade Toledo, up in downtown Toledo, they're having a community listening room, which is like an open mic night. There's going to be some musicians. There's going to be folks like me with their art. I'm also running what's called a community zine. So folks can participate if they want to. So if you're up by Handmade Toledo this Tuesday, doors open at 9 and not 9, 5. The doors open at 5 and they are open until 8:30. So if you're able, come check out some local musicians and artists. Thanks.
Our meditation group continues. We are going to work this week with sitting, standing, and walking meditations in a very Buddhist perspective. And all are welcome. If you haven't been there before, you can just jump in anytime. Thank you.
Next week, we have a very special service. I talked about this a little bit last week. Jim Scott, who's an incredibly talented guitar player and singer, who's been visiting Unitarian churches all across the country for many years, is going to be here next week. If you haven't heard Jim, even if you have, he's always a delight. I think you would really enjoy it. Hope you'll come.
My usual 2 quick announcements. Remember, any Sunday that you'd like to bring donations for the Brown Bag Food Project, I will take them to the pantry. They're getting hit harder and harder every week. And 2, if you're home today or out and about and it's coming up towards 5 o'clock and you think, I should do something for myself, you could come here and join in the ecstatic freeform dance event. More information is in the newsletter, or hit me up after service and I can give you more information. It's at 5 o'clock and you do not have to be a dancer to attend. I sometimes sit in a chair during the entire thing and just move that way. So, Tina, are there any online announcements? Okay. A reminder, after our closing song, please stay for the potluck because we always have plenty of food. Our closing song is hymn number 100, I've Got Peace Like a River. Please stand and join if you're able and willing.
evening cool awakens, passing days, elusive spirits with no